Welcome to Whiskey Conversations. I'm Daniel Whittington, and I am here again with special guest, Emma Crandall. Yeah. I'm going to pour you something different because I want to talk about blending. And I'm specifically pouring this one for a couple of reasons, partially personal, partially because it's just great whiskey.
Yeah.
So Compass Box Orchard House.
It's one of my favorite Compass Boxes right now. Maybe my favorite Compass Box.
The favorite?
At the moment.
The bestest? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is very kind of light and delicate.
It is.
And kind of pretty.
It's very fruity.
Well, let's take a sip, and then we'll start chatting about Compass Box. Oh, yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
It smells like some sort of house.
Made of the orchard?
Made in the orchards, maybe? I don't know why I think of that, you know? I'm just that good.
It's so good. There's so much pear.
It is great. It is beautiful.
It's so pretty.
So, you started blending at Crowded Barrel because you just thought it was interesting. You were already blending with whiskeys at home. Mm-hmm. When did you go from like, this is kind of cool to like, oh, this is a thing? Because I can tell you what my experience was blending with you.
I don't entirely know. You know how you can have those moments where something is clicking and you're not quite sure why yet, and then later it makes sense. But I feel like it was kind of that. Like, it just was interesting to me, and I was just like, I want to do that. I'm going to do that.
How often were your blends at home good versus oops?
More often it was oops, but at the time I didn't have a ton of whiskey, and I also had weird stuff. Talisker and Craigellicky and Wyoming whiskey do not mix.
No, that's not a thing.
Those
the first two maybe
don't go well together. Yeah. But like I didn't have a ton to work with, and so I was just working with what I had, and it did not always go well. But I love how it's creative, and I love how it's a puzzle. It's like a puzzle you're putting together.
Yeah.
And it was just this fun challenge. But yeah, I was just like, I just want to do that thing.
I remember when we first started really blending together, and it wasn't just like you were also working on it with me, but like we were actively together working on a blend.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at your notes or you're talking about your notes, and I'm looking at my notes, and I'm going, I am like, she is way better at this than I am. And so I just like, what are you getting? And you'd be like, well, I'm getting all these like 147 things. I'd be like, yeah, totally. That's also what I'm getting. That's good, good job. Oh, and but very quickly I started pushing towards like why don't you do these things and then bring me into the loop at certain places in the progress. But over and over I just kept thinking like, nah, you've got this.
Oh, thanks.
Is that what you felt like at the time?
I was just grateful that I got to do it.
Did you know that I was making up my tasting notes?
No, I just thought you were really overwhelmed and busy. And so I was relieved that meant I got to do more blending.
Yeah, pass the buck. Then you went after, so to do a short version, because this is not a long episode.
It's fair.
A short version of how you got connected to Balcones for the first time.
Met them through Texas whiskey stuff. Wanted to learn more about blending, knew they did a big focus on blending, reached out to do their master classes. They weren't doing them anymore. Thomas basically hooked me up and was like, hey, I'll talk to Gabe. You should just come up and it'll be great. And I was like, okay, thanks. And I feel really lucky because that was January of 2020.
Right
if
before.
If it had been any later, like it just would not have happened.
Right.
So I feel really grateful for that. So did that and learned a lot. Was very grateful for the experience, graded casks with them and just like learned their language.
Right.
And then a couple years went by, maybe. No, like a year.
It was
just a year.
Yeah.
And I started talking to them about contract blending. Like I really just want to blend more. So how can I do that? And so talked to them about contract blending when they were really busy and needed help.
Right.
And then at some point I was just like, you know what? Like I want to blend. This is what I want to do for my career. I think, at the time I was doing a lot of different roles for Crowded Barrel, a lot of different jobs, and I was distilling and I liked distilling, but I knew blending is where I needed to be. And so I reached out to them. They had posted on Instagram that they were hiring, and they did not say for what roles. And so I just like emailed Thomas and Gabe, and I was like, hey, just putting my name in the hat if you need any blending help, if you're hiring
Yeah.
for the blending team, I would love to be a part of the team, and I'm putting my name in the hat. And I think it would be an amazing experience and opportunity. And I just
Yeah.
I'm open to full-time work because I don't know if they knew that.
Yeah. Well, and then Gabe called me and he was like, hey, just to be clear, like, I'm assuming you know that Emma reached out to us and was interested in the blending job. We would never thought we'd be able to, we worked with her before. We really loved her palette, but I don't want to be like sniping employees. And I was like, no, she said she was interested in doing that, and I encouraged her, like, yeah, go for it, because that is a truly focused role on everything you absolutely love.
I used to get so annoyed. Now I just laugh, but I used to get so annoyed when people talk about they poached me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, I did that.
Yeah, I went after that job.
I reached out to them. Like, they didn't poach me and like come after me. I was like, I so desperately wanted to be a part of their team.
Yeah.
But no, I just laugh because I know where the heart of it is, you know.
You've just gotten better and better. You're in magazines, or your blends are winning all the golds and things and being crowned all of the achievements. But we went to Compass Box together in London around the time I was judging for the Whiskey Awards. Mm-hmm. And you again, just like at Balcones, you sent an email to Compass Box because they don't have a public-facing event. And so you just sent an email going like, hey guys, we're going to be in town. I don't know if you have a way for us to like come visit.
I really want to try your whiskey and meet you.
And they
Super fan.
Yeah, they emailed back and they're like, just come and hang out with us. And so then Emma called me and she's like, Compass Box said we could just come hang out with him.
It worked.
And we totally did. Yeah. And we hung out with Michael and they brought out this blending experience that they did.
It's fantastic.
Where you got to the individual components of Compass Box, right? Which were
it was the best
I don't remember what it is.
Blending experience for like an event or a tasting or like a group of people.
Yeah.
It was the best one I have
flawless.
ever experienced with blending. We got to try all of the components, the Maturate version, and we got to try the new make.
Which never happens.
Never happens. I was like, I get to try. I don't know if it's. I guess it's public because
it's in the blend.
So it's like I get to try Crandall new make.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was so cool.
That was my favorite part.
And they were just so kind and generous. And I'm a huge Compass Box nerd because I feel like the way I feel about blending is the way they approach blending. And so it's like artists and just like they hold it with such reverence and gosh, I'm such a fan. Such a fan. And
You definitely are.
Yeah, and it's just they make such beautiful whiskeys and it's held in such a like it's weighty, like they have fun, but they also respect it. Mm-hmm. They just treat it like an art form. And I love that. And they're transparent about what goes into it, which is huge too. So I just love everything they're doing.
We got to create our own blends using the raw ingredients.
Mm-hmm. Of Orchard House.
And
to recreate Orchard House.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't. I created a smoky whiskey out of the ingredients.
Yeah.
Because why not? Emma created something that was just as nuanced and delicate as Orchard House, but completely different. And it was so complex that like when they tried our versions, we were all having a conversation and everyone stopped talking and it got silent. And then like when they tried mine, they're like, oh, that's nice. And then they tried Emma's and everyone stopped talking and it got quiet. And then Michael was like, what were your proportions on this? And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. You gave a talk at ADI recently about blending. If you could synopsis it just to do like a wrap up on like what is the heart of blending that you could tell for any of the craft guys working on this or any of the people working in craft distilleries or who have the opportunity to work in blending, what is it for you? What's the core of the point of blending? Yeah.
First, I believe that whiskey is just this magical thing that is so complex and nuanced, and it's this tie between science and art. And it is magic. And the heart of that, and the most important part of that is the people and what it does for people. And so how it brings people together, it ties people across countries, people mourn loved ones with whiskey, they celebrate with whiskey, they work through conflict together over a whiskey. And so it's just like, this is going to be in people's homes and treated within some of the most important moments in their lives, and we need to treat it that way when we're making it. And it is magic. It has the ability to be magic, and we need to approach it with that kind of reverence and never forgetting what is happening on the other side of it, because it's easy. I mean, it's a job. This is my job, and so it's easy to get bogged down by meetings or email, or like, it's like, oh, I'm blending lineage for the 100th time. You know what I mean? It's easy to kind of fall into that, but trying to continuously approach it with this, like, remember who is on the other side of that blend, remember who is going to take this bottle home. And then also, blending is art. It is art, and it is probably the most creative and artful part of the whiskey production process. And I know people will not agree with that, and that's fair.
Hammer drop.
That's fair, because there are people who are super nerdy on fermentations, and I will not argue with them that the way you do your fermentation and the yeast you choose, that is another form of art.
Yes, I agree.
So for me, this is the art. Yeah. For other people, 100%, whatever they take to it, their own experience. But for me, this is a pure, like, even when I'm blending the same core release over and over, it's different each time, and I'm looking at different casks each time, and we're a team too. So I like to say, like, we're different artists painting on the same canvas. So you have these different literal, like, palettes that are working on this same blend. And I just think, like, blending is such a creative process and an art form. And I do believe that it's, whether you blend or not, without blending, and like, okay, and again, because wording in the industry gets confusing and people use things differently. I mean, like, you can just look at your inventory and say, okay, these things go into this release and these things are ready, so I'm going to combine them together, taste it, great, bottle it, release it. You can make fantastic whiskey that way, even award-winning whiskey. But I do believe, like, blending intentionally and really reviewing and knowing your inventory and, like, choosing and blending can make a whiskey that's really great. It just levels it up, and it can make it feel complete and whole and just like this integrated full picture that I just think blending brings that to the table, and it's so important. And I think more and more people are seeing that and doing it and wanting to learn about blending. There aren't a lot of resources out there, but it's getting better, and more people are having the conversation. I mean, when I was at ADI, I feel like I was all of a sudden in so many blending conversations, and I was like, this is new.
It is.
Holy cow, this is awesome.
It is. Everywhere I go now, everyone's talking about blending.
Yeah, and I love that so much. So, yeah.
Or maybe it's the golden era.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. You're almost out of Orchard House. What are you doing there? Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
When they see this, we're going to be hanging out on our honeymoon.
We're going to be married.
We're married. Well, I'm really glad you're here. Thank you. And to you, really glad you're here. Cheers. For the most delicately blended of all the Orchard House's YouTube channels in the whiskey worlds, and like and subscribe. I don't really know where that came from.